All right. It's Jared here from Crypto Plan. No music. We're just going to do a little bit of a wrap up of the day. And what a day it was. Bitcoin put on a show. Altcoins put on even a bigger show. But if you caught the falling knife and managed to get to the bottom of any of those trades, well done. So we're just going to have a little look today at, what you could have done to not absolutely poo your pants today. And what I was looking for, and when I kind of knew there was a reversal, and just put a little €100 trade on, and I think I'm 5 or 6% up on that today. But yeah, before we do that, please like the video if you're into this sort of stuff. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and yeah, click the notification bell if you are into learning about technical analysis, because I'm learning more and more that the technicals are the only thing that matter. And if you play by technical rules, you can nearly always never lose money. Nearly. But yeah, oh man, it's funny, like the more I learn, the more I realize how many mistakes I made, that if I had have known about the technicals, one, I would have let winners run further, and two, I would have just cut my losses a lot earlier on a lot of things. But anyway, you live and you learn. All right, we're on the Bitcoin chart, and I just want to I'll stay on the daily for a second. I just want to point something out. For those of you that do use TradingView, on your moving averages, I just learned something, because I was always like going to, like, say this is my weekly chart with a 30-week moving average. When you go to the daily, it shifts it to obviously a 30-day moving average, and I was like, I want to keep the 30-week moving average in. And I know that some people are going to be like, didn't you know about this? But you can change the indicated time frame, so it can either be same as chart, or you can set it to a particular one. So if you want to hold a 50-day moving average or a 1 month or whatever, you can set that. So now I'm on the daily, but with the 30-week moving average, so I can kind of see that. Whereas before I was kind of drawing it on, projecting it on, and then anyway, just thought I'd throw that little tip in there. Bitcoin. A little bit more information's come out. So, we were talking recently about, this kind of 4 attempts at a top, similar chart pattern to back in October, and then crash, and then you kind of won. And I was calling that 2, but I think it's 2 and 3. So what I'm looking for is probably something, the next low to be a higher low, somewhere around here, maybe a bit higher, but the next high to kind of push above that 41.3, and then the low to come back somewhere and then push on out of there. If that doesn't happen, geez, it's going to be a hard little run out of here, because this range has already been dreadful. So yeah, I think that's the biggest bottom we've seen. I think, looking at it from this perspective, what has been happening is something along the lines of some kind of a range of support. It's another thing I was learning over the weekend on my course, my masterclass, is that, you can draw like trend lines or support and resistance lines, but it's more like a range. And you can see here that there was a wick that came up here, a wick that came back down through here. So there's a whole bunch of wicks and candle bodies, wicks that have come into this zone. So there's kind of an imaginary range of support and resistance, which is around that 30, 28.5 to 30, 31.5 kind of range, right? So that's kind of what's telling me where people were getting out of trades and people that are willing to get back into trades, So, and this is the overbought bit up here. So 30 seems to be the realistic price for now, and we just need to get out of there. So we kind of need to just, kind of zone out, start again and go, if price was meant to discover here at, it's 50, 60,000, it was meant to correct all this particular way down to here. And then, the breakout line is now, right? So we technically should have just kind of hit here and then kind of bounced along that line, and then at some point just break out and make higher highs, right? That's the way the correction should have, the same way that gold did it. It went up to a parabolic top and then just kind of squiggled its way down, couldn't break a line, tries to break a line, couldn't break a line, dips really low, which was our recent panic moment, and then kind of squiggles its way out of there, retests that line, and then fires on out of there, right? So That's what we should have done, but we got too bullish, right? We got too bullish. So I'm just going to delete all of that. So that's what's going on there. But what we want to look at is the 15-minute time frame, right? So, you're watching all the way down here and you're seeing, all through the day, like dip, or is that the bottom, kind of price kicks back up. Nah, there's a little bit more to drop. Nah, a little bit more to drop, and then kind of bang. And then it just kind of really, really, really just got crazy there. And I think at this point when it was kind of had been back up to 33 and then dropped back down kind of below 30 again, and it just kept going, and I saw that had happened. That's when I started looking fairly seriously. And I guess, for me, well, I wasn't 100% sure, but I saw that there was this big hammer candle here, like big wick down there with a body. And then the next one alongside of it, same deal, green hammer candle. That was kind of a bottom to me. If you go to the 30-minute, is it 30-minute, you can kind of see it. Or is it the 4-hour? It's a real kind of big one there. But when you're looking at it on the 15-minute, and you start seeing a couple of green candles coming out on the same steep angle, that's kind of your bottom. Whereas you look at all these other bottoms, they're kind of a bit jaggedy, right? Like this one, you could have said, yeah, maybe, but it was steep down and slowly out of there, right? So this is kind of what we're looking for when something finds a bottom, right? And then the biggest key, and I put this on Twitter today, is this a buy the dip moment, right? It definitely is, because, you can see that there's been people on the sidelines. They've seen 30 in the past. And if we go back to here, there's fairly decent volume the last time it came down to 30. I think we might even have to go back out to the 4-hourly. So the last time it came down to 30, you can see that we've got good volume here. And then kind of the rest of it, kind of fairly thin volume. People are kind of sitting on the sidelines, big accumulators are standing back and watching. And then, we came back over here today, and we're seeing well above average volume, like 4 or 5 times the average volume on that 4-hourly candle, and then it moved over to the next candle. So that's the way you pick a bottom. If you're new to technical analysis, it may be something everyone already knows, but these big hammer candles, where big wick, and the same for the top. If you ever see that at a top, like in the, in December, if you see on any of your charts, like this kind of thing happening, I'd be like, sell. So big wicks at the bottom after a big drop off or a big run up in price is definitely something we're looking for, to see a bottom reversal. Now, we're not out of there, we're only 4 green candles, 4 green 4-hourly candles into it. But Bitcoin's green for the day. It's above 30K. Scary moment is over. 1, 2, 3 good tests at the bottom, looking for a higher high. Same deal as always. Nothing's changed. That's all we want to say about Bitcoin. Now, as for everything else, they're all doing pretty much the same thing. They find a bottom along with Bitcoin, but everything seems to still be a little bit sideways. Now, the one trade I did do today was I was looking at kind of new coins on Revolut, and I jumped into this store coin, just a random coin, no particular reason, but I did see big volume coming in. So I thought I'll fire into that, and the percentage to get back to its all-time high is quite large as well. So it's it's a little dabble, but you'll find that once the altcoins are comfortable with Bitcoin isn't going to go to the downside anymore, you've got these large amount of red candles, which it'll find easy to retrace that move. It'll find it easy to get back up into a 2x from what you're buying down the bottom. So they're handy little trades. They're scary. Definitely, I've learnt my lesson from ICP trying to catch a falling knife. So I didn't really go in heavy on any of these sort of trades, because definitely I'll go in heavy again once we're back above the 30-week moving average. But it's just a little bit of fun for the day, kind of trying to predict the bottom. And I bought this once, put a stop loss in, it got triggered, and then I bought it again when it dipped a bit lower, and it didn't trigger the next time, which is good, and then probably even Stevens for the day then. So that's that. Guys, and yeah, we'll just look at a couple of our favorites and just remember this journey, 80% correction in Harmony 1, what have we got? Like a 86% correction in game credits, oh my goodness. So much mayhem has come about. What did Peercoin? 87% correction. We're getting a lot of these coins, EOS there, and this is one of my biggest mistakes. I think I set a buy order for €15 overnight, so it would have had to go up to €17. I thought, oh yeah, it can retrace there, it can go up there, it'll get a bit higher. Nah, I should have taken my money and run. Should have sold everything in my EOS and then bought it back in down here. Hindsight is a great thing, right? These things are back in the accumulation zones from way back when, it's back below cost basis now, it's definitely a HODL now. It's definitely a hold on for dear life. You can see my pink lines there. This is where I was accumulating and it's back in the zone. So I'm just start accumulating again. Bought another 50 EOS today. What can you do? What can you do? Crypto halftime has been painful. Oh man. All right, that's enough of that. I'm sure you don't want any more salt in the wounds. I hope you can buy the dip. I hope you didn't sell out. I hope you didn't capitulate. There is more to come. But, in saying that, I hope you were also smarter than me and took a lot more profits at the top. I think one thing I learned on the weekend as well is when you're up here, we have the tendency to look up. When the reality is we should be looking down, how far has it come? It can probably go back there, right? So definitely going to be taking profits when my gut tells me to, and good runs are had. It's stick to some rules. Is it if you have a couple of 100% gain, we'll take 10 or 15 or 20% off the table, right? Of your holding, and then at least if it does correct, then you can buy back in cheaper and start again, right? So the trading rules, I've got to write them down or share them with you, all right? I've been Jared, it's been Crypto Plan. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter as well if you're into that kind of thing. I'm kind of posting the odd chart now and again because I've learned how to post them. And there's some links in the description for other kind of share deals and Coinspot, free Bitcoin, all that sort of stuff if you're in Australia. So yeah, have a read of the description, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye now.